My name is Yuko Kuragano. I'm a 30-year-old single mother. My husband died in a traffic accident while I was pregnant with my daughter. It happened so suddenly that I agonized over whether or not to have the child. However, she's the last treasure my husband left me. I decided that no matter what, I would protect her. When I consulted with my parents, they told me I should come back home, so I took them up on their offer, returned to my parents' house, and gave birth to my daughter. After taking about a year of maternity leave, I now work busy days at Lucky Factory while balancing childcare. Lucky Factory is a subcontractor for various major companies. My main job is to serve as the contact window, receiving appointments and orders from sales representatives at the parent companies. This is my 5th year at this job, and I'm quite used to it. However, a major problem is about to occur in these peaceful days.
Kuragano, I'm sorry, but could you also handle Sasaki's sales representative for a while?
Huh? What happened?
Well, Sasaki's mother broke her hip. She's gonna enter a care facility. Sasaki'll be out of the office for a while, so just during that time.
Oh, if that's the case, please leave it to me. Please tell Sasaki to take care.
Thanks, you're a lifesaver. The client is coming at 1 p.m. today, so I'll introduce you then. Excuse me, I have an appointment at 1 p.m. today. I'm Shinmachi from Hachiyamasu.
Shinmachi, we've been expecting you. I'm Kuragano, your de facto contact from our enterprise.
I heard from Sasaki that the person in charge was changing?
Yes, I'll presumably be in charge until Sasaki returns. When I said that, Shinmachi made a blatantly displeased face. But not to make excuses, this isn't anything unusual. Many men look down on you just because you're a woman. Some even go so far as to look down on women, thinking women can't work.
I wasn't told it would be a woman.
I've been working at this company for 5 years. In terms of career, I've been here longer than Sasaki, so please rest assured.
Even so. By the way, Kuragano, are you married?
I am. I also have a daughter.
Working while raising a child, huh? When something happens, you immediately take time off. You can't be reached. Honestly, it's a bit concerning. Can you call your supervisor? I'd like someone reliable, a man, to handle this. I don't mind if the man has less experience.
That's what he said to me. I sighed at how rare it is to encounter someone who discriminates so blatantly based on gender in this day and age. However, thinking I couldn't handle this alone, I obediently called my supervisor. My supervisor then politely said,
I apologize, but currently only Kuragano can handle this. Also, if I may say so, Kuragano is an extremely capable employee. Your concerns are understandable, Shinmachi, but we believe it's our company's duty to support women who are balancing childcare with work. I promise to take full responsibility and handle things myself if Kuragano is unable to respond. Please, I ask for your cooperation.
And then bowed his head. If my supervisor went that far, even Shinmachi couldn't argue back.
Fine, whatever.
And then he left with a curt response. Sato, thank you so much.
Don't mention it, that's nothing. But more importantly, I didn't know Shinmachi was that kind of person.
He's like, the stereotypical annoying type.
Well, he's an elite sales guy from major company Hachiyamasu. Plus, he has a position at such a young age in his 30s. I guess that gives him confidence, but that doesn't make it okay to discriminate based on gender. And honestly, I'm worried about what's ahead. If anything happens, please report it immediately. I'm sorry for the trouble, but I'm counting on you again.
Understood. Honestly, I really didn't want to deal with Shinmachi, but I owe this company and I owe the people working here, so I thought I could put up with dealing with an unpleasant person for just a little while. Then one day, the office worker informed me that there was an emergency call from the daycare. Yes? What? She hit her head and was transported? I understand. Yes, I'll head there right away. Excuse me. My daughter had apparently fallen from a swing while playing at daycare and hit her head. According to the teacher, there was visible bleeding. I immediately contacted my parents' house. My mother said she'd go to the hospital right away. When I explained to my supervisor,
Go to the hospital right now! Don't worry about things here!
So I took him up on his offer and jumped into a taxi. Momo?
Oh, Mommy!
Are you okay? Your injury. Calm down. It wasn't that serious an injury. They did tests, but there were no abnormalities. Oh, thank goodness.
Sorry, Mommy. I tried to do an ultra jump, but I failed the landing.
Momo, it's good that you have energy, but that ultra jump is dangerous, so can you promise me you'll absolutely never do it again?
Okay, I'm sorry.
In 5 years of raising a child, this was the first time my child had been transported to the hospital. Honestly, when I got the call from the hospital that Momo had been transported, all the blood drained from my body. It reminded me of when my husband died in an accident. However, seeing Momo smiling and happily talking about what happened at daycare, the strength left my body and I collapsed into a chair. Then the daycare teacher came rushing into the hospital room and repeatedly apologized while crying. This incident was completely my daughter's fault, so I had no intention of making a big deal out of it. More importantly, thanks to the teacher's quick response, my daughter was able to receive safer treatment. However, since she hit her head, I was told she should rest at home for 2 to 3 days, so I decided I'd have to take time off work and contacted them. And when I opened my phone, I was shocked. 50 missed calls! What the hell? And the call history was from Ryohei Shinmachi. Oh, right. Today was the day Shinmachi was supposed to come to the company, but I'd left everything to my supervisor Sato, and I'd written Shinmachi's appointment on the schedule board, so he should have known. I wondered if there was some other problem, so I hurriedly called him back. Hello? This is Kuragano. I'm sorry I couldn't answer the phone.
Hey, what the hell is going on? I had an appointment today, didn't I?
Yes, I apologize. However, I had my superior Sato handle everything. I made sure there wouldn't be any problems with your schedule.
That's not the point. I heard you took time off because of your kid.
Yes, my child was playing at daycare, fell from a swing, hit her head, and was transported to the hospital. So I judged that not only my mother, but I should go to the hospital directly.
This is exactly why I said I didn't want a woman with a kid. You think you can just take off work easily because of your kid's schedule? Are you taking work seriously?
With all due respect, I have never approached work insincerely. Whether you have children or not, unforeseen circumstances can arise.
Your unforeseen circumstance this time is because you're an incompetent mother who can't even manage health.
I explained she hit her head, right? It has nothing to do with health management.
Then it's discipline. It's your fault for raising a wild child who gets rowdy at daycare.
Those words made the anger I'd been holding back bubble up inside me. It's true that leaving early or creating gaps in work due to my child's poor health wasn't zero. Even so, like with Sasaki this time, I actively cooperated when other colleagues were in trouble, gave thank you gifts to people who covered my shifts, and did what I could in my own way. And I never received complaints from people at the company. Moreover, this time it was a major problem involving my daughter's life. And honestly, work was the last thing on my mind. Above all, I'd handed things over to my superior and done everything I could. And yet he says this to me? Shinmachi, what do you want me to do?
Huh?
I responded with everything I had to the best of my ability. Even so, if your anger won't subside, I'm asking what I should do.
Isn't it obvious? Change the person in charge. I don't want an incompetent like you as the contact person. Change the person in charge immediately. Got it?
Understood. I'll convey that to my supervisor. After saying that, I hung up the phone abruptly, and then I decided to contact my supervisor. Hello, this is Kuragano. Actually, there's something I'd like to discuss.
Damn, what the hell? A subcontractor summoning elite Shinmachi? Well, it's probably about changing the person in charge. Jeez, that's why I said from the beginning I didn't want a woman making me go through extra trouble. We've been waiting for you, Shinmachi. Hi, so, who's the new person in charge? Before that, there's someone I'd like you to meet, Shinmachi. Huh?
Nice to meet you. I'm Aran Suzuki, president of Orchid Corporation.
What? Orchid? You mean that? Wait, what?
I'm glad you know of us. Now then, this time I heard there was trouble between my subordinate Kuragano and you, Shinmachi, so I came here myself.
What? Subordinate? Kuragano is an employee of this factory, right? Orchid and this place are like night and day.
Ha ha! What are you saying? Lucky Factory is a factory we trust very much and have a good relationship with. That's exactly why I entrusted my employee here, right, Kura-chan?
Yes. Shinmachi, I told you, didn't I? That I'd inform my supervisor, so I reported to my direct supervisor. Actually, I'm not an official employee of Lucky Factory. I'm an employee on a secondment from Orchid Corporation, which is said to be Japan's fastest growing company right now. Originally, after my husband died, I was very conflicted about whether to have the child or not. That's because working at Orchid was just as important to me as the child. I decided to consult with President Iran about this.
What's important is what you want to do, Kura-chan. You were looking forward to having a child more than anything, weren't you?
But if I have a child and raise it alone, it will be difficult to stay at Orchid.
If it's about employment type, you can switch to reduced hours for a while.
That's not it. If I have the child, my parents are telling me to come back to my family home. I think I'd feel more secure that way than alone, but then it becomes difficult distance-wise to commute to work.
I see.
It's painful for me to leave Orchid, too. Orchid is a really great company, and more than anything, I have learned so much from you, President. I want to continue working at this company with you.
Where is your family home?
Moni City in the neighboring prefecture.
Moni City. Oh, that's it. Kura-chan, I have a great idea.
The subcontractor company Orchid has a good relationship with, right?
Yes. How about being seconded there? That way you can come back here when your child enters elementary school.
But is it really okay to do that much for me?
Of course! Kura-chan is our very, very important employee. Just like how you're saying you want to work with me, I want to work with you, too.
And so, taking advantage of the president's generosity, I was seconded to Lucky Factory. The working hours were 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., making it easy to balance with childcare. And until now, there had been no problems. I'd been able to spend my days peacefully, but that was only until Shinmachi appeared. I couldn't just stay silent after being berated that much. Learning the truth, Shinmachi's face turned pale. Of course it would. From Hachiyamasu's perspective, Orchid is a mega corporation. If there was trouble, they'd be the ones suffering huge losses. That said, we don't do business with Hachiyamasu, so there probably wouldn't be any direct damage. But just the rumor spreading that they made an enemy of Orchid would be enough for companies to pull out left and right. If Shinmachi were a real elite, he couldn't fail to understand just how bad this situation was.
Now, to get back to the point, Shinmachi, first you apparently asked to change the person in charge just because Kuragano is a woman, right? And when you found out she had a child, you became even more aggressive.
That was,
Furthermore, when Kuragano's daughter was rushed to the hospital and she left work early, you contacted her 50 times. And at the end you hurled abuse, saying people who can't even discipline their children should be removed from their position.
I didn't say all that. I just said it would be very troublesome if you took time off because of your child.
Excuse me, but Shinmachi, are you married?
Not yet.
I see. Then you don't understand how difficult childcare is or how hard it is to balance it with work. I also have a 2-year-old daughter, and small children are tough. They develop fevers at unpredictable times and get sick. More than anything, it's common for them to get seriously injured the moment you take your eyes off them. Do you have any idea how much working mothers pray every day? Please don't let the daycare call. Every time the daycare calls, every time they realize they have to take time off, the one whose heart hurts the most is the mother herself. Men and single employees especially don't understand these situations.
But...
There are no buts. Society as a whole needs to be tolerant of households raising children to some degree. Of course, I can't say there are 0 malicious cases where people use children as an excuse to slack off or leave early unnecessarily. but we can't let good people who work seriously suffer because of a few inconsiderate individuals.
President Iran's irrefutable logic bombardment made Shinmachi hang his head without even looking our way, and President Iran delivered another blow.
By the way, our Kuragano is very capable, so she'll finish her secondment at Lucky Factory at the end of this year and return to our company starting in April next year. In other words, the woman with a child you made fun of will be working at major company Orchid.
What?
Well, this must be shocking. The person he looked down on so much will be rising above his career.
Oh, and just so you know, all your abusive language has been recorded. We have all our employees thoroughly record all their work communications in case anything happens. Based on that data, we'll of course protest to Hachiyamasu, and we're also proceeding with preparations to file a defamation lawsuit. So please be aware of that.
And with President Iran's final blow, Shinmachi collapsed on the spot.
Well then, I'll be taking my leave. Sato, thank you again for taking care of our Kuragano.
Not at all. Her work is so excellent that finding a replacement will be tough. Kuragano, whenever you're in trouble, you can always come back here.
Yes, I look forward to the remaining time here.
Mom, I'm leaving.
Be careful of cars.
Okay, you too, Mom.
Half a year has passed since then, and Momo and I have left my parents' house and currently live together in an apartment. With Momo entering the first grade, we no longer need my parents' help, and Orchid is adjusting things so I can gradually increase my work hours from reduced time. So we started a fresh new life in April. Despite it being 5 years, everyone at Orchid welcomed me warmly, and I was so happy I could have cried. And my great benefactor, too.
Kura-chan, congrats on returning to Orchid. Here, this is a celebratory snack stick.
Same as always. Thank you so much. I look forward to working with you again.
Same here. Oh, by the way, about that idiot Shinmachi from Hachiyamasu?
If Iran is saying that much, he must really hate him.
Ruran and I went to Hachiyamasu with the evidence data to have a discussion, and wow, they apologized so politely. They said, "We'll discipline Shinmachi strictly on our end, so please forgive us." We didn't want to have trouble with Hachiyamasu either, and Lucky Factory would want to avoid trouble with an important parent company, so we agreed if they discipline him properly. Oh, but as you know, Kura-chan, we sued Shinmachi for defamation and made him pay compensation, so that's fine.
Yes, after that, Iran properly had the company lawyer file a lawsuit against Shinmachi. Shinmachi, fearing it would become a big deal, requested an out-of-court settlement. We didn't think someone like that would get a criminal record, so we agreed to the settlement. However, I hadn't been told what happened to Shinmachi at the company after that.
Apparently, Shinmachi hid the fact he was being sued from the company. The company said it affected their credibility and recommended he resign. Shinmachi was reluctant, but ended up resigning. Because he damaged the company's reputation, his severance pay was reduced to half.
I see. If he received social consequences, that's fine. And I'm relieved that Hachiyamasu has a company that can make proper judgments. A sales rep like that is nothing but a source of trouble.
For real.
Brother, let's stop chatting and get back to work. Kuragano, we're really counting on you. We're relying on you. Yes, I look forward to working with you. The days I spent working at Lucky Factory are a treasure to me. Well, I got dragged through the mud at the end, but I'll consider that a useful experience and call it good. Companies like Orchid that are kind to working households are still few, but I believe that the more Orchid's performance grows, the more other companies will copy our style, and I want to work hard on my tasks every day with that in mind.